Do you ever feel ugly? Like you just don't look as good as other people do, or you don't have the clothes to wear that make you look how other people look? I want to tell you something. If you're a child of God through Jesus Christ and his salvation, you have every reason to know that you are good looking, you are beautiful, you are handsome. Let me explain. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus is telling his disciples not to worry, that everything they need is going to be provided for them. And I realize that that is the first application of this scripture, is that we don't need to worry about our basic needs. If we're seeking after God, he's going to take care of that. Jesus tells his disciples in Matthew 6:25, he says, I don't want you to worry about your life, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, or about your body, what you're going to wear. But then he asks this incredible question: is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? In other words, there's something so much more important than what we tend to think about. But what Jesus is saying is, I want you to focus on your relationship with me. I want you to focus on eternity. I want you to focus on seeing other people saved and watching yourself grow in holiness, because if you do that, I'm going to provide all this other stuff. Then he goes on to say this: why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow? They don't labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. So Jesus encourages us to go look at beautiful wildflowers, his creation, and to realize that Solomon, King Solomon, who was one of the richest kings that ever lived, one of the wisest men, and had all power accessible to him. He had access to anything he wanted, and yet even he was not dressed as well as the simple wildflowers in the field. Why? Because wildflowers just live and do what God made them to do. They absorb the sun, they take in the rain, and they display the glory of God. So Jesus goes on to say, if that's how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and gone tomorrow, how much more is he going to clothe you, dear Christian? You are beautiful. He's going to take care of you. Now, I am fully convinced that this does not have anything to do with the beauty of the outer garments that you're wearing. Because he's saying even Solomon, in the best that he had, wasn't clothed like God clothes the wildflowers. So I think what he's trying to get at is what he mentions just a few sentences later. He says, pagans run after food and clothing, but God knows you need them. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. There's the ticket. Seek the righteousness of God, and God will clothe you, and he will feed you. What are we clothed in? We're clothed in the righteousness of Christ. What do we feed upon? Jesus, the bread of life. I don't care what kind of clothing you have or don't have, how your facial features compare to anybody else's. It doesn't matter what you think you look like on the outside. I'm here to tell you that if you are seeking Jesus, your beauty, your handsomeness comes from within. You are beautiful because you are being who God made you to be, just like the wildflowers of the field. You're not focusing on all the outward stuff, all the stuff that's passing away. You're focusing on Jesus Christ, his kingdom, and his righteousness. And I got to tell you, that makes you gorgeous.